So I am so excited to introduce this amazing woman to you guys. I have looked up to her my whole life, and I'm not even starting. Um, she's been doing net marketing for over 28 years. I know 20 of those years have been with Arbonne International. Like, she might not look in this, but she's a big deal. She's honestly, like, this is my aunt, so that's why I've known her my whole life, but she's just been such an inspiration for me. So I'm hoping that by sharing some of her wisdom she has, it's going to be an inspiration and motivator for you, because she's one of the top ranked people in Arbonne. She's national vice president. She's got a huge team. Brett, it goes both ways. I don't want to take up time, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And this is Phoebe.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited. She is adorable. I'm actually sure if I say I'm her grand aunt or her great aunt. Her grandmother is my sister. So it's really special for me to be able to share with you tonight. And getting some echoing, so you have everyone mute their sound, which it looks like maybe Ashley did that for you. Thanks, Ashley. And you're right. I was the second national vice president in Arbonne, and I've been with them a long time. And before that, I was in another company for like 15 years. Add that up. Because you'll be wondering, how old is she? Let me see. But anyway, I'm excited to be able to share with you and appreciate the kind words. So do you think you'd like me to do that, show that sign? Because I did pull it when you said that. So let me see what I'm doing, and I can share this with you. How much time, first of all, do you want me to take?
I would say, Ashley, like 20, 30 minutes is okay, because I think her presentation's around 30 minutes, right?
So I'll watch the time, and we'll do about minutes, and then we can stop. We can have questions. All right, so we'll share. This was on YouTube. I actually recorded it for, let's do a show, and then play from start. So I actually recorded because I was asked to speak at a local event, and I kind of have since then created a around this whole concept, but it's called The Worth of One, and Elizabeth Smart, who was abducted from her home when she was only 14. I don't know if you all would have heard the story, because she lives here in Utah, but since then I've become aware of human slavery. It's a nice word, it's human trafficking. So they asked me to do this event that hopefully will raise some money for and cause. And so I thought, well, how can I give them a sample? I'll just record something. So I'm glad that it was beneficial to you. But there are keys to happiness, and we can all be happy, and we're really meant to be happy. We're here, every single one of us. We're unique and special, and there's no one that can take your place, no one. And so if you ever get discouraged in your business, if you ever start feeling, this just isn't me, go back to, why did you join? What's driving you? What is it that you really want to achieve through this? Because there's no business opportunity that gives you the freedom and the flexibility and the opportunity to grow as a person. And I remember being in Dallas, along the freeway with, let me tell my husband that, okay, sweetie, bye. Sorry. Don't you know that we can just do our business and have things going on family. But anyway, I just remember having this epiphany and realizing that when I learn something new, when I grow as a person, it almost immediately shows up in my business. And it shows up in the results of your business. So, I don't know what else you can do where you can learn something that lifts you up as a person and makes you a better person. And then it actually shows up in what you're earning. So this is one of my very, very favorite things. You could call it the 5 or the 10-second miracle, but if you just read that, the best day of your life is the one on which you decide your life is your own. No apologies or excuses, no one to lean on, rely on, or blame. The gift is yours. And it's an amazing journey, and you alone are responsible for the quality of it. This is the day your life really begins. Usually we're in 3 different modes. We're either in blame or justify or build. And the first are not going to take you anywhere except down and stop your progress. So you want to always be in building mode. And we're going to talk more about that. But the very first thing is to take responsibility for your life. There it is. So this is when you really get freedom to grow. When you say, I'm 100% responsible. I'm where I am because of the choices I've made. It's not because of the circumstances I grew up in. It's not because of your parents or anything. It's you're taking that responsibility. And when you do that, then now you also have the freedom to grow. So number one, I want you to really think about who do you listen to? And you really, you're probably thinking, well, okay, why am I listening to you? Well, Mallory gave you a suggestion to me because I built 2 very successful businesses in marketing. I built to the top of one company, but I was disgruntled with their product. I was working in this industry before ingredient labeling was around. And so that was a shocker when I found out people were saying things that were true. And then animal testing, I love animals. Anyway, that was a big deal for me. So I've been in 2 different companies. And you look at the criteria, people who've been where you are. So I've probably been where you are as well. Because I have built businesses. I had no experience in sales or in networking before I got involved in it. And now have what you want. I don't know if I have what you want, but I imagine you would, that you're looking for a significant income, a lifestyle, maybe where you could be debt-free. You don't even have to make that much money when you're debt-free because, you don't owe anyone. And that's an incredible place to be. You can't believe that it gives you. So I want you to think about who are you listening to? What books are you reading? What audios are you listening to? Who are your mentors? Who are your coaches? And then ultimately you listen to yourself because all the energy you need are with you and around you. You're not given that desire, that dream, that wish without being given a way to achieve it. The second thing is to think about your teachability index. How teachable are you? And there are 2 factors. One is what is your willingness to learn? And the other one is your willingness to change. So just think about that for a minute. What is your willingness to learn? Where would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? Are you very willing to learn, or do you kind of say, I've already heard this? That's something for you to consider. And the way that you're going to know if you have a willingness to learn is, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up watching that favorite television program in order to learn? So think about that. And then start just by acknowledging where you are. You can't get where you want to be until you know where you are. And if you go around thinking that you're an 8 on that scale, and hey, that's what happened to me, I thought I would probably be about an 8. And when I learned this concept, and I was at an event, and the presenter had me hold out my arm, and he tested me. Guess where I was? A 2. I wasn't an 8. And so that was so helpful for me to find out. So whenever you start thinking, oh, I already know this, are you doing it? Because you know how the saying goes, those who know how to read but do not read are no better off than those who don't read. Well, it's the same way. When you know, if you're living it, then yeah, you probably are an 8. But you've got to be living what you're learning. And then what is your willingness to change? When you learn something new, how willing are you to change? Are you willing to change how you think about things? Are you willing to change how you feel about things? You know, that's, so what I do, what I've incorporated into my life is whenever I start feeling resistance to learning something, I ask myself, how teachable am I? You know, I don't know everything. So just remember that, I'm open to learning. So the training balance scale, there are basically 2 ways that you might want to consider that your business, you could divide it into these 2. So your why, what motivates you, your thoughts, your thinking, your dreams, your desires, your goals, your attitude, your emotions, your feelings, your intentions. And then the other part of the scale is your activity, the how. How do you do it? And what you do. And the skills it takes to do it. And the strategies and the action plans and the systems and the techniques. So I want you just to think for a minute. What percentage of your success do you think comes from your mind? And what percent comes from your activity? Is there someone who wants to guess? Just throw it out there. What do you think? You'd have to unmute to say.
I'd say 80% set.
80%.
Final answer.
Okay, thank you, Samantha. Wonderful. Well, you know, she's on the right track because it's actually 99%. Can you think of that? But I want you to think about it. There's someone on your team even, they seem to do all the right things. They show up at meetings, they're on this webinar tonight. They are in activity, but it just isn't happening for them. You know, we see that a lot. It's because something needs to change here. 99% of your success is here, how you think. And this quote by James Allen, let a man radically alter his thoughts, and he will be astonished at the rapid transformation it will affect in the material conditions of his life. And Wayne Dyer said, change your thinking, change your life. So now you may be thinking, oh, but if you don't, you can't just sit around thinking. Guess what? When you focus on those things that we just looked at, when you're focusing on your why and your thoughts, you're paying attention to your thoughts and keeping your thinking positive, and you're motivated, and you've got those dreams and desires and goals and the great attitude and feelings, it's going to lead you to activity. You won't be able to sit still. You will get out there and do what needs to be done. We know Earl Knighton he was the first person, he had a gold record, and they had vinyl records, and you had sold 1 million. you got this old record. And the gist of the strangest secret is we become what we think about most of the time. So you're going to get what you think about most of the time. You become that, whatever you're thinking about most of the time. So change your thinking, change your life, change your business. I'll just whip through this one really quick. Unconscious incompetence. So that's sort of like you don't really even know that you don't know. And then something happens. You attend a training and you become conscious of your incompetence. You realize, I don't know that. And then you learn what you need to do. So now you become consciously competent. That means every time you do it, you think about it. And a good example is the car, learning to drive a car. You get in the car and you know, you're not even aware of it as a child maybe, but then as a teenager, you know you don't know how to drive yet. But then when you're going through driver's ed or you've got your learner's permit, you've got someone walking you through the steps, you're thinking about each and every step. And then one day, it all becomes unconscious. In fact, you could be driving home and go, oh my goodness, how did I get here? Because you were somewhere else the whole time. So our whole business is really about becoming. The real prize is who you become in the process. So I want you to think about, who are you becoming? What did you learn from that experience? So when you have an experience that you label bad, oh, that's a bad experience. Maybe I don't know if you do, presentations or one-on-ones, whatever. Maybe someone didn't purchase at all. In fact, maybe they were even rude to you. Who knows? But I want you to ask yourself, what did I learn from this experience that will help me to grow? And what can I use from this experience to increase my service? Earl Nightingale also taught that your rewards can only be equal to your service. So that's a great one to ask yourself. How can I better serve? Because did you spend some time really pre-qualifying that person? Maybe you should have, that's something you can learn from it so you don't run into that again, or that you're prepared. So the real prize in the Pursuing Gold is who you become in the process. So you're going to choose to develop you, and this is so, so important. Personal development. That means every single day reading or listening or engaging yourself in uplifting activities. And then also professional development, learning some skills. A lot of people don't like to think of themselves as salesmen. I know I didn't either. But you're selling your children on your values. We're all in that mode of promoting and selling. So look at, where can you get professional development to help you? Maybe your upline leader has a website that you can go to. Spend some time there. Pay attention to your feelings. The limbic brain is the center of the law of attraction. And the limbic brain does not communicate with words. It communicates with feelings. So when you say an affirmation and you feel like you're programming yourself, it's the feeling you have when you say it that will attract what you want into your life. So your job is to feel good now. And even if you don't have what you want yet, because sometimes people will focus on the fact that they don't have it yet. Even when they look at their goal, they're thinking immediately, their thought goes to, I don't have that yet. I'm not there yet. So you want to focus on the feeling of having it. And then develop your belief in yourself. And there's a lot of ways that you can do that. One thing you want to get rid of is comparing. It's not going to serve you. And I probably have that on another slide because it's important. Speak life into your language. In other words, when you catch yourself saying something negative, think cancel, and then reframe it, reword it, say it in a positive. If even if you just say, I'm getting better and better at this. It's been a challenge and I'm so excited because I'm getting better and better. I'm recognizing what I need to do and I'm moving forward. Because bad experiences are never bad. Nothing happens to you. Everything happens for you. So look at that and say, what is it about this that is going to help me? And you're going to be excited to be engaged in playing that game. Changing negative patterns. This is a great rule. This actually comes from, what is that chain, that wonderful hotel chain? I'll think of it. Anyway, they're very, very expensive hotels. What they teach their employees is that they practice the 10-5 rule, and it's the power of a smile. And I read this in a book called Before Happiness by Sean Achor, Achor, I think it is. And anyway, but whenever you're within 10 feet of anyone, smile at them. Even if they don't look at you, you still smile. And within 5 feet, you say hello. And they found in doing these psychology studies that even when they have people like women who have their face draped and you can't see the smile, that when they would put them, they did a study where they had people smile at each other, that even though they couldn't see the smile, the other person would smile back. Change your physiology. If you start feeling negative or down or like it's not working for you, then stand up. Do one of your exercises that you love. Go for a little walk. Sing a song. Change your physiology and your thought. It will interrupt your thought pattern. I just told you to say cancel, and rephrase it. And then imagine, this is something that helped me a lot. When I had a very negative person living in my home. And sometimes you can't escape them. So, you need to learn some techniques. It worked for me. I would put my umbrella up and I would imagine those negative words just washing off that umbrella. They couldn't penetrate me. And I would think in my mind, I know who I am, and I am not who you say I am. I am much, much more. So kind of, you're your best coach. Empower you. And that's a great thing to do. I already told you this. That's one of my mantras, and it helps me so much in everything I do. And then what's the lesson? What's the gift? When you go somewhere, sometimes you can go to a meeting and kind of think, I didn't get anything out of that. Cancel, negative thought. What did I like best? Well, I really liked sitting next to this person who was so friendly, introduced herself to me, and I feel like, I made a new friend. You can always find something. What did you get out of it? Well, I got out of it that if I'm ever in charge of a meeting, I'll never do it that way. I'll find a better way. So do you see the idea? So remember that what you are feeling will attract more circumstances, events, and people that bring more of what you are feeling. So you don't want to hang on to the pity party. You don't want to hang on to any of those negative thoughts. So the quality of our life is determined by the quality of the questions we ask. And I'm going to tell you right now that asking the question why is not going to get you what you want. You want to ask empowering questions. What do I need to do next? Where do I need to go to meet the right kind of people for my business? Get the idea, how can I serve better? What can I do to give better service? And then celebrate success. This is so important. So often people, especially when they're in that comparison mode, they're thinking about looking at someone else and being critical and comparing themselves, and they don't even want to applaud. They don't want to hit like, when someone's had success. And that kind of thought is going to bring more of that sad thought to you. So when you genuinely applaud the success of others, you're going to attract success to you. So if you're at a meeting and somebody gets an award, you cheer for them, you clap for them. And as I said, comparison, not curiosity, killed the cat. I knew it was in here somewhere. You are uniquely you, and you have a path and a purpose that no one else can fulfill. You deserve success, you deserve happiness, and all that you desire, and you can have it. I love this quote by Zig Ziglar, and I'll just end with it. You were born to win, you were designed for accomplishment, you were engineered for success, you were endowed with the seeds of greatness. And I know that is absolutely true. That's who you are. So begin now today to hold on to that belief and that vision of who you can be and who you are. You're just kind of like Michelangelo. You're taking away the unnecessary as you go through life experience so that the real magnificent you can emerge. So I will stop share. So thank you. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I just have to say thank you so much for sharing that. Like that toward the end, like I didn't get to hear the very end of your YouTube video. So hearing that like kind of just made me tear up because it's so true. We're all so unique and we all have our own special path that we're on and fulfill different things. So it touched me and I like scribbled everything you said down. Like there was so many points that like they align. Like of course it's a different network marketing that you're in versus what we are, but it's all the same. Like you were saying,
There's more similarities than differences. We're all about helping people.
Definitely. And I just wanted to say thank you because I think that a lot of the people on our team, need to hear a lot of this. And so even if they weren't on here, I'm excited for them to hear the recording because you touched on so many things, our why and how learning something new immediately shows in your business and that we can't blame others. We have to, accept like where we because of our own choices. And I could go on and on, but I'm not going to recap your whole call, but I just thought it was awesome. So I wanted to say thank you and I really, really enjoyed it.
Thank you for asking me. Thank you for asking me.
I really appreciate it because I know you're busy.
We all are. Yeah.
Did anybody else have any questions or comments?
I just wanted to say thank you as the same as Mallory. I have like 5 pages of notes and everything that you said it just aligns with what everybody needed to hear. And when you talk about like changing your psychology or your physiology, it is so true. One of my favorite quotes or that I always tell people is the difference between fear and excitement is a smile. So as soon as you feel like you're so fearful, just put that smile on your face and just go forward and keep going. So thank you so much for taking the time out to do this for us.
You bet. I'm so happy to do it.
Anybody else? Sam, you have anything?
I don't know if I have any questions, but I just love that I thought there was so much to take from it that was stuff that you don't hear a lot. I'm sorry, I'm outside. I hope you guys can hear me, but it was new things, and it was things that like as far as the 99% is your mindset. That's so where I'm at right now, just really getting my mindset right, because I have seen such a change in my business, and it's my mindset. So I'm getting back to that better mindset as we speak. So thank you so very much.
You are so welcome.
Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you have family visiting, don't you?
Yes, they're all busy tonight though, so you're okay. But whatever, I'm here.
Anybody? No? Well, thank you so much again for doing this. I really enjoyed it, and I know I'll be watching it again because I think I needed it too, because sometimes I get occupied with things that aren't important to building my business, or I get out in a weird funk and I just need that mind shift. And so I know I'll be listening to it again.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm glad
All right.
you found a passion and are excited about it. And just wish you all the very best of success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.